providers. And we just want the right to that. And the lady's response was, her response was, well, yeah, okay, but wouldn't you really risk the Indigenous values and environment values of that up there if you were given the right to manage that? And I was swearing in the head. But I rather politely responded saying, well, that's exactly the reason we need a separate state. The fact that you just said those words is exactly why we need a new state. You think that we wouldn't look after, I said, in my experience, if you love the environment, you live in it. We live up there because we love it. And we live up there, First Australian brothers, and because we look after them, and they look after us if need be, but we live with them, we care more about them than you. And she's there saying, oh, it'll all be lost if you look after yourselves. That's exactly why we need, if ever I need convincing, that we need to break away with them at that point. So, thank you very much, Bill, for being a fighter, and hopefully, and Matt, yourself, your group, you put together, let us take a leave edible, and please, everyone, don't walk away from here. It's not just an information session, this is a rallying call, and it's not going to happen. This is a serious thing that needs to happen. Politically, we're not going to get there with any party or any one of us. We need this much more than anything, and I hope you take that away with you tonight.
Martin, please come up. I'd like to introduce Martin Miller,
I'm probably going to approach it from a slightly different angle. You may know, well, as we've been told, I'm a councillor on the Mackay Council. I do have a tendency to be pretty blunt. I think a lot of people who don't go out there blatantly with reason to think, just as likely to be the person. From my point of view, one of the problems with what I've heard tonight is we've already decided where we're putting lines and all that sort of thing. What we've really got to think about is the state's not about geography, it's about the people in it. And interestingly enough, I heard them saying, well, if you speak to people in some of those coastal areas, they see themselves as part of Brisbane. You go out towards Toowoomba or whatever, they're actually not in favour of North Queensland State, because they don't want to be left behind. And I come from a background of you don't leave people behind. That's the lowest thing you can ever do. So from my point of view, I found it odd that everyone was talking about the southeast corner, but we were talking about a boundary then somewhere up there. So I believe the boundary's got to do with socioeconomics, it's got to do with medical as well. And if you look at the provision of medical services, I come from a medical background, it's been 30 years of physio. If you look at the standard of care, the further you go away from Brisbane, I think you can quite easily draw a line that could be a separate state, because there's such a definitive difference in the standard of care, the ability to access that care. To be honest, if you want to have a serious accident, make sure you have it in the courtyard of the PA hospital or RDH. And we've recently been through that with my brother. The battle of getting down there after the horse went down was a nightmare. And what we faced, to be perfectly honest, was petty little pissing competitions within the bureaucracy of hospitals, which I've battled with all my life. Now, as some may know and some may not, I also had unfortunate enough to be spearheading an organisation that we started 10 months ago that currently has well over 30,000 members, and we were had boots on the ground with the police, and we were actually liaising with the police during those vegan invasions and all that sort of thing. So we've had inquiries from, believe it or not, New Zealand, the UK and the US regarding our organisation, Green Shirts. The idea of Green Shirts is to actually start to get people to get over their own little problems. And I'm not speaking as a Green Shirt here, I'm speaking as a counsellor. However, it's activities or things that I saw that led us to start the Green Shirts. reason is that basically we lack autonomy, we lack the ability to choose our own destiny. And it's interesting because I hear the term social license used an awful lot. Now it's an interesting term, that. And I'll go back to my physio career. There's a common misconception that many war veterans don't like to talk about what they've been through. And I've actually treated people from, you name the conflict, World War II on, and large numbers of them. Predominantly my patients when I'm down south with a returned servicemen. They do want to talk about it. They're desperate to talk about it, but they don't want to be judged. And the reason they fear judging is if you are not, or haven't gone through the same situation, the same environment, you have no ability to apply the same mindset that they had in that situation to what they did. Now, the thing that I really get annoyed with about social license is social license is exactly that. Social license is people sitting there making a judgment about other people doing things when they have no experience in doing none whatsoever. And where we see it is, and this is the classic hypocrisy, we have people talking about it's legal to do things as farmers, whatever, we do things we say with the law. But social license limits us even further. The interesting thing about that is we are the cleanest and greenest in the world, there's no doubt about that. That's the way we are. And we trade on that. Now, to be clean and green costs. There's an economic cost for everything. So to be the cleanest and greenest in the world, give Australia the reputation that it has, we bear the cost. When I say we, who? People in regions, ultimately the people that depend on agriculture and mining. Our mining practice is the best in the world as well. But interestingly enough, if we are the cleanest and greenest, that must mean that other countries don't meet those standards. Workers' welfare, environmental concerns, animal welfare, you name it. And you can go to any supermarket where you see it. And the very person that's protesting against you, the vegan activists that we battle and whatever, how many of them walk in and buy that product from overseas? So ultimately, is that not the greatest form of hypocrisy? So social license, in my view, is a completely ridiculous term. I'll give you an interesting concept. If you have never seen an elephant, but you have seen animals, I can explain to you what an elephant is, right? I can talk about legs and tails and all that sort of thing. Try explaining an elephant to a young child that's been blind since birth. I've done that. I worked in children's hospitals down there years ago. Because they have nothing to base their mindset on as you're trying to explain it. They have no concept of what an elephant is. And no matter how hard you try, they can't do it. And it's only later on they get to feel and touch other animals, and then they get an idea of scale, and gradually you can explain to them what an elephant is. But it's an interesting concept. So try explaining farming to people in Brisbane. That's what Green Shirts is trying to do. And I'll tell you, it's very, very difficult. Even people that have a really, what would you say, great sympathy and care for you, when you actually explain what you're trying to do, they don't comprehend. The idea of, I'm going to stop you off the topic, the idea of cruelty. Our idea of cruelty on the land is completely different to what they see as cruelty. I learned very early in life, because I was asked to do something but I didn't do it well, to be a very good killer. Because the first experience was bad. So you learn to do it. Do I like doing it? Hell no. I don't enjoy shooting or anything like that. You know, I'm a bit of a sook like that, but I can do it damn well. Because that is my role and my responsibility. And I see nodding here, but talk to an audience in Brisbane, and they look at me like I'm some sort of psychopath, which is probably true in all cases. But what I'm getting at is, when you get a split between just the whole ability to comprehend what another group does and how they live, it is almost impossible to reconcile those groups Now, this is my reason. Forget about the wealth and all of that sort of thing. This is my reason for thinking that something must be done. I'm not totally convinced that a separate state is the answer. I'm not saying it's not. But one thing I would say to you is don't leave any poor bugger behind. If you're going to get around and you're going to try and find out where the line should be drawn, make sure you ask everyone. Because the person you leave behind does not become neutral in the argument. They become vehemently against you. And they will fight like hell to stop you doing what you do. And I don't blame them at all, because anyone that leaves someone behind is, in my way of thinking, less than honourable. So, as I said, with green shirts and whatever, we are trying to bring back our ability to have a say in our own destiny. I believe this is an organisation that's trying to do a similar thing. We've been very successful in growing our organisation. What we are keen to do is ally with other organisations that basically, I keep saying, give us a say in our own destiny. As a councillor, however, please understand that I see similar things. We all complain about Brisbane and how badly they treat us. But I see that in Mackay City Council as well. Because we've got people in Mackay, and Mackay gets this and gets that. I don't dispute they should, because of the large number of people. Please remember there's people out there that don't automatically benefit from what you see as good for the people of Mackay. But then we go to Serena. People in Serena will whinge like buggery about what the people in Mackay get. And then go 3K into Serena and see what they get there. The people in Serena, make sure you do it here, not down there. And I have that argument all the time. Look, I'm telling you, it's in our nature. It's something we should not be proud of. But as soon as you start to think that someone else is getting it all and you're getting nothing, look around behind you and remember there's someone that you're doing it to as well. So in this, I really, really say we need to do something, and we need to make sure that no one's left behind in this. So I appreciate the attitude. This is an idea to put forward. This is a forum to put forward ideas and discussions. And what I've tried to do is throw it in there from a slightly different angle. So all those that are offended can speak to me later on.
We have question and answer time now, so I'd like to call Phil and Matt up. And people have got questions, they put their hands up. And
You can also ask the question.
Steve,
Thanks, mate.
yeah, so no running light. So
Just change the mic.
Consider the GoFundMe page and open letters to companies.
We've only just started up and we've just recently been incorporated as well. And we have one person who's sort of running our technical side through the website and that. And we will be getting we have established a bank account for the incorporation. So we will be able to take money or donations from people in the near future. And what we're going to do is send out to all the people that register as supporters and members. We'll be sending out an email saying we are incorporated, have got a bank account, and if you want to give us $10, that's fine. But the thing is, we haven't got any patron or anything like that. We have a fortnightly meeting or a monthly meeting. It's usually just $25 Kitty and gets the printing done. But yes, we'd love more money to come in, but we're not putting the thumbs on anyone. But we will be having that portal on our website in the near future.
So for example, some of the industry
our email list. So, yes, funding is an issue. I mean, all this travel out here and all the bringing and all that comes out of our pocket. So, yeah, we would be helpful. Yeah, that's it.
Next question over here.
So, with your, with your economic case, one of the reasons, I'm all for the concept, I'm all for the idea, I agree with the principle, but one of the reasons why I won't vote for a referendum for secession from Britain and becoming a republic is the cost of money and the duplication of the resources and the changing of the currency and the changing of all the government assets and everything like that would be into the trillions of dollars. It's a massive amount that it would cost. So do you have any idea how much it would cost in that we would have to set up our own state emergency service, our police service, fire, ambulance, hospital system and all of that? So do you have any idea of how much that might cost?
Well, the thing is, we've already got those things in place. I mean,
But they're going to belong to South Queensland.
the hospital that's in Kansas is going to stay there. It's not
We're
going
going to buy it off them. They're not going to give it to us.
Well, they're going to take the hospital away.
No, it would be that the assets.
Assets of the new state.
New state, basically.
So that's automatically transferred.
Yeah, well, that's all done. Transfer of power, which is a transfer of assets. I mean, wherever the new state, all assets within that belong to the new state. No pay for it, and they can't pay for it. All the roads stay there. What you